Hey there, it's Brian Sebastian, movie reviews and more. And if it's Tuesday, I never know where I'm going to be, but we're always live, that's for sure. Show number 44. And you know what? Just a couple more shows before we get to 52 out of 52 weeks, and we're going to get it. Nothing's going to stop me. Even tonight, I wasn't even sure if I could make it with all the stuff that I was doing. I said, well, Victoria's on. You know, how often have we get Victoria? You know, she's just busy doing stuff. She doesn't even pay attention. You know, it's just me, Terry, and Howard. I mean, even Rachel's got babysitter a kid tonight. You know, but I'm the one that was moving everything. Terry's been going through a lot of stuff. Howard is dapping. Howard, so you'll like this. I've been telling a lot of people about you, and they go, we like Howard. Howard's unique. I'm like, Howard's more unique. Howard's hovering around the box like I am. But it's one of those things where I love all the stuff that he's doing. I couldn't be prouder of the crew that we have, and I kind of got it locked down to who we are. So this is Brian Sebastian. This is Movie Reviews, and we are streaming live on everything from iHeart to Pandora, Amazon Music, iTunes, you name it, we're on it. And Victoria was there when we first started in 2018, 7,900,000 on iTunes 247, and Victoria has over 10 million views herself out of Tennessee, out of Franklin, Tennessee. She doesn't even know it. She just doesn't pay attention to it. Terry has almost 4 million. So imagine that. And this is the great thing of being, online with iTunes 247 and Jimmy Adams and with Don King and Howard Ware and Christy and everything like that. And I can't wait to come to Tennessee to see my friend Howard, because I think about this all the time. If it weren't for Howard, I wouldn't get to know a little bit more of Tennessee as he was showing me around. And I think about that all the time. And Rebel, we could not do this without you, that's for sure. So, Terry, introduce yourself for the audience that you know, because you already know your significant other to the left of you.
Well, hi, I'm Terry Marie, and I've been with Brian since, 2015 now. A long time doing interviews, red carpet interviews, celebrity interviews. I'm a fitness freak and fitness competitor. Also a businesswoman and actress and an artist. That's why they call me nonstop, because I'm always doing something. Soon to start my own podcast just about women over the age of 40 and 50, and about beauty, travel, health, depression, you name it. Just, everyday stuff that we all go through. I'd like to kind of bring up all those topics, and I can't wait to do it. I've just been going through so much my own personal stuff, which I think I'm growing from it. It's by, I think we all get tested, but I think Brian said this to me the other day, is that God won't give you more than you can handle. So, hopefully, through some of my trials and tribulations, I can help me and Victoria were just talking about skincare. There you go.
And then we get Happy Howard from Nashville. Well, actually from Brentwood, Tennessee. All right, so Howard, tell the audience who you are and what you're wearing today.
Well, just cowboy outfit, just a vest, hat, blue jean hat. But anyway,
is that leather? It looks like it.
It's a blue jean. The vest is leather, but the hat's blue jean. Cool. You look good. Okay. Anyway, I'm the son of Little Roy Wiggins, plays steel guitar for Eddie Arnold, Lori Morgan, Ernie Ashworth. Long time ago, Pee Wee King and Paul Howard. Let's see. I was one of the world's 35 leading interior designers most of my life. Well, I guess I still am, but I'm retired from it. I turned 65. And let's see, I take care of mentally adults and teenagers. I do that on the side. Plus, I try to do my acting and my modeling. Speaking of which, when Brian comes to Nashville, Be Unique is going to have a fashion show, and I'm going to be in that fashion show, and you're going to watch me dance. I'm looking forward to that. I believe that's on the 6th. We've got Nashville Women in Film that they're all coming down for. That's a big event. So we're all going to have a party then, and it's going to be for several days. Let's see. That's pretty much.
And that will be exciting. And then we got the Nashville Film Festival, which I've never been to, so I have all access to that, so I'm going to go. And so with that, our other co-host that we never get a chance to see, but I'm so proud of what she's doing, and even when she's not around, I can see her popping up in her car, talking and singing to herself and listening to her own music, whether it's Monster or A Better Tomorrow. And she's got something else that came out on Friday too, if I remember correctly. What was it, Victoria Renee Hand? Victoria Renee Hand music?
Well, I was listening to my music in the car because it was on the radio. So Monster is on the radio in Phoenix and in Arizona, and in Chicago. And yeah, super excited. And then I just released a song with my friend Samir, cover If I Didn't Love You, Carrie Underwood, Jason Aldean. So we did our own version of that and released it on Friday, and been doing lives and been putting some music out, and I have another song ready to go. So lots is going on over here, and I have more things to share whenever we're ready. Oh, should I just do it right now?
Okay. Absolutely.
Okay. So Monster also just got placed in a film that I'm super duper excited about, and I'm producing and starring in a musical that I'm doing with a man named Scott. He wrote it. It's an original, and Robert Sprayberry, from the musical director of Rent. And
wow.
So
congratulations.
So excited about that, because he's a genius. I mean, really, the show's so good, and I can't wait for you guys to come see it. So
where's it going to be?
It's going to be in LA. I'll give you more details as everything unfolds. But I'm really proud of this one. I'm super excited about it. That was always a dream of mine, to star in an original musical. So
But you did play Cinderella at one point, didn't you?
I did. I was Cinderella in Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, and I was Mary in Mary Poppins, and I was Ivy in Bear, and it was that was a dream in and of itself, because the whole process was a Cinderella story. I mean, I almost left the auditions because I was like, there's a gazillion people here. What a waste of a day. And then I just didn't. And the next thing you know, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to book this. And I did. And it was just amazing. You know, they gave me my own dressing room, which I didn't even want. I wanted to be with the cast. So, but it was just, what an amazing experience that was. And having that background of being able to lead a show, right? Because everybody wants the lead role, but now there's a lot of money behind it and you have to carry it, right? So, you know, knowing that I can deal with that pressure, it makes me feel like I'm really just stepping into my power, and I know what to do, and I got this, you know.
When did you know that you can handle all the pressure? A lot of people don't know all the stuff that goes behind doing all these things. Plus, you've been getting a lot of this stuff on your own. Talk about that also. That's important for the audience.
I have. Well, you don't know. I mean, you just got to do it. So you're going to go on stage. Either you're going to know the material and you're going to nail it, or you're not. You just got to do it. There's no like trick, you know. You just got to put in the work, put 100% of yourself into it. And I got this job because I was doing a live showcase, which, by the way, I have another live showcase Thursday in Marina Del Rey. So come through. Working with a pianist he's amazing. He toured with like Stevie Wonder and like everybody. But I'm digressing. Sorry. What was I saying about? Yes, artist showcase. So I was doing an artist showcase. I invited just a bunch of my friends, and they invited some of their friends, and they all came out. And I did Monster last, and this man named Scott I was telling you about, he was like, have you ever done musical theater? And I was like, have I? Yeah. like a lot, right? And he was like, okay, well, I wrote this musical, and he's a producer anyway. You know, he does film and television. And he's like, I'll put up the money, and if you want to be a part of production, I think you'd be perfect for the lead role. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, here we go. And so I emailed him like a month later, and I was like, hey, where are we with this? And he's like, well, I don't know how involved you want to be, but if you want to help produce it, then, you know, great. I'll put you on rotator. And so
you got to become a producer now too. Good for you.
Yeah. Super excited. I have experience with production, but like not for a musical, not very musical.
What other things would you like to produce? If you could, like, let's say you got your next project.
Yeah.
What's in your head, Victoria?
What's in my head? See,
Yes.
I have it's a lot more fun to produce things that already have funding. That's a good time, right? I had so much fun with that last year, and the year before that I spent about 2 years doing rewrites for a Jamie Foxx film. And I had some music in it, and they used all my edits. They used the title I gave the film. It's coming out, but they had a big fallout with my manager, and so they cut him out, and they were like, "We'll keep you on board." And then I just felt like he brought me onto the project, so I just kind of respectfully just bowed out. But
that's a tricky situation, isn't it?
What I did was in the trailer with Jamie. Like, it's crazy. So anyway, I probably did 100 hours of meetings and production, just production, everything.
Terry, you remember the first time that you met Victoria?
Yeah, I was Celebrity Connected, and we bonded right away, and we became really good friends from just hanging out. Yeah, so I don't know what else you want me to say. But yeah, Victoria and I have a blast, and like anytime I get the opportunity to work with her, I want to work with her. I've interviewed her at the red carpet. Let's say say when you did She Rocks. When you did Garbage.
Yes,
that was awesome. So yeah,
I was just looking at those photos the other day, and they were classic because time has gone on. Yeah, it was Stevie Vai. Stevie Vai was there, and what's her name? The guitar player, Nita Strauss.
Yes,
who I love. That was just like a great time. And then Howard was going to ask something because I just saw him coming. What were you going to ask?
Well, I met Victoria too. I had lunch with Edie Hand and Victoria there, bringing her 2 beautiful daughters to the pick her up from Edie. So remember that in Memphis?
I think that was someone else because I don't have kids.
Oh,
I have a husky though. It's kind of the same.
That's
okay.
Her baby.
Yeah.
All right. You have a sister then? Because it's 8 with Edie Hand, and
it might have been her nieces. It might have been.
It was.
Right.
My
well, they had blonde hair, right? One of them had blonde hair.
No, they had dark hair.
I don't know.
Victoria,
I can tell you this: there's only one Victoria, that's for sure.
We did. Victoria and I worked together in Nashville with Jimmy. I took a red eye out there. It was my first time in Nashville, and I told Victoria, I'm like, I haven't had any sleep, and we had so much fun, and we got so many views we still get a lot of views from those shows in Tennessee.
Yeah, that was such a fun time. I think I was wearing your clothes. I don't remember how this even happened, but.
But yeah, that was a fun time, and so I'm looking forward to the Women in Film coming up in Nashville. I'm not going to be able to do. I'm only going to be able there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because of work schedule, but I'm excited to go back to Nashville. It's always a great time.
When is the function?
I think it's
the first weekend of October. October 4th to the 7th.
Oh, really? Oh, fun. I'm going to be in Cabo.
But Victoria, I did want to say, if you ever want to work with me again, I want to do some kind of comedy with you because I think that we will be funny together.
I would love that.
Yeah, and I think that we could write some funny material together. So let's talk about that another time. But
yeah, let's do.
Because Victoria brings out. I mean, we just have so much fun together.
We do.
And and so we're silly together. So I think that we might be able to create some stuff. So I'm just gonna put that on.
Did we just make a new show? I think we might have gone into business together, guys. You saw it here first.
Yeah.
Hey, Howard. I haven't had you dance to her song Monster, but it's when I heard it live, I'm like, this is a catchy tune. I really like this, but I every time I hear a cool song, I'm thinking of Howard.
Are you a dancer, Howard? I heard you say you were going to dance some clothes around. So
I was going to do what now? Dance.
Yeah, well, you said you were going to be in a fashion show
Nashville,
and that you were going to be dancing. And I was like, maybe he means walking. And I'm like, no, I think he means dancing.
No, I mean dancing. Yeah.
I love it.
I dance all the time, at least once a month, if not more. But I post my videos, Brian reposts it, and they get a lot of views. So, and I'm not a formal dancer. I don't do like ballroom dancing, anything like that. I just do what comes to me naturally. And I think that feeling of happiness and joy, where I'm not really thinking about the next move, I like it a lot better than watching professionals. You know, because people feel that energy. You know,
yeah, you can feel it. It's almost contagious, right? I can feel the freedom that you're feeling. That's the best.
Exactly.
Totally. I do that sometimes too. I'll just put on music and just let go. And just, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I love to dance.
Dance like nobody's watching.
That's
but they
right.
Are, but I don't care. That even makes me do better if they're watching.
I know,
I'll go to a dance by myself.
Yeah.
Victoria, I've never seen you dance. I've seen Terry dance.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen Victoria dance.
Yeah.
I've seen her dance in the car.
Yeah, dance in the car. Really?
Yeah, she's like listening to her music, dancing in the car with like car karaoke by herself.
That's the best.
It's funny, actually.
The car in the shower, best places to sing. Well, obviously a stage, but before that, car in the shower. It's just very inhibited, right? You're not worrying about your neighbors hearing you sing or being I don't care anyway. I got a booth, so I'm just going to come in here and sing my face off if that's what I feel like doing. But there's just something about being in your car, right? You guys sing in your car too, don't you? Am I the only person? Yeah, of course.
I sing in my car all the time. And there's been times where, I don't know, there's something about music. It's uplifting. There's been times I've been upset. I'll just sit and I did this the other night. I was upset. I sat in my car and blared music and just screamed the music because I just had like all this stuff I had to get out, and I felt so much better when I got out of the car.
You need to do that more.
If anybody drove by, it was like, who is this crazy person screaming at the car? Because I was just sitting there parked like that. But you know what? It was like I just kind of had to do it, But
sometimes you just need a good scream sing.
Yeah, it was a scream sing, and I didn't really realize how healing it was. Until afterwards, I was like, oh my God, I feel so much better because I just got in the car and I'm not a good singer, so it's probably better I was in my car singing.
But it's still so fun. It doesn't matter if you can sing or not. It's just the inhibition of it, right?
Yeah. So,
Terry, what were you listening to?
Huh?
What were you listening to?
I think I was listening to, I don't really remember. I think Nirvana.
Classic.
Not Teen Spirit though. It was just other stuff. I was listening to punk rock stuff.
Alright, so let's do this. Victoria, we may have something for you. I think Rebel found something. Let's see what she's found. Don't know what it is. It's always a nice surprise. She likes to do surprise things, and I like that. Let's see what she might have come up with.
Check my chat. I love that. Okay, but production, wow. And the outfits, wow.
Well, the outfits are mine, and in the productions, of course, that was just a 30-second clip. The full clip comes out in about another 2 weeks or so.
Very cool.
Oh, awesome. Is that an original song? Do I know that
yes,
song?
Yes, it is. No, it's original. It just came out, or coming out. It's not out yet.
Awesome.
Well, Howard, talk about how you got that.
So good.
How did you get that?
I don't know how I got it. They just called me and told me how much they were going to pay. And the video was supposed to be just me dancing. And I said, I want Christine Lucas dancing with me. I don't want to carry it all myself. I want somebody else with me, So,
and
part of
Victoria, the thing about that is that he doesn't need anybody. So it's but to have Christine, that's a great thing. That's a noble thing.
Yeah.
So cool. I love it.
Some of the
I can't wait to see the
ideas
whole
were mine. Some of the ideas were mine, where Christine's back and her hair showing, and we saved her. She's kind of a mystery girl in the beginning, and then you see her more at the end. So,
very cool.
Yeah.
So awesome. What instruments do you play?
Me? Nothing.
Yeah. Oh, you don't? Oh, I thought you were.
No,
I thought
my
you
father does. My father plays steel guitar for Eddie Arnold. And,
oh,
he's in guitar
gotcha.
all the time.
Guitarist. That's awesome. Okay. Well, anyway, you should come out with a clothing line because your outfits are fire.
To your mouth to God's ear, I'll do it anytime.
I'm manifesting that for you.
This is the manifesting show.
Right.
Yeah, that's
manifestation, babe.
Yeah, it's what you need to be doing every day.
And you never know what I'm going to be. I could be top hat, I could be cowboy, I could be casual. Well, it's not casual.
Right. You're casual, and everyone else is casual or not the same.
They're not.
I'm like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Everyone's like, don't be too extra and come in like a gown. Like, what do you mean? This is what we always wear.
I'm an interior designer, and the same principles for interior designers, same for dressing. And I always said I would never hire an interior designer myself if they couldn't put clothes together, because that's so simple, So it's like, if you want to put your house together, you at least ought to be able to put your clothes together.
That's true. You have an eye for aesthetic is the bottom line. And if you don't have an eye for aesthetic with clothes, then I don't trust your judgment for my house.
That's true. And it actually started when I was a kid, back in the 60s, when guys wore Levi's. One Christmas, my mother bought me 250 colored socks. And then I eventually got shirts for all those socks. And I've pretty much maintained that all my life. So, and then I got into jackets here lately, as Brian can say. And because I never did wear a coat until I was about 50 something years old, because my mother would say, put a coat on. I thought, I'm never going to wear a coat, And then I went shopping and I saw this Amani coat that was a distressed leather, and I just fell in love with it. And it was very expensive. So I bought it. And once I bought that, I was like, I was a kid in a candy store. Now I want all the coats I can get.
It was the compliments, right? The compliments did it.
Oh, yeah. And hats, people talk to you when you wear a hat. People talk to you just when you dress up. So you meet a lot of people just by the way you dress, because hardly anybody dresses anymore. They're all in gym clothes or casual, and people start conversations with me. And then you're memorable, because at work, a lot of times at work, people say, well, I saw you there, or I saw you here. And it's like, I stand out. So that's fine. That's what I want to do.
That's right. There you go. So you didn't even need the clothes. They're just an accent on top. You already stand out.
That's true. Howard, talk about the room that you're in, but also talk about what are some of your favorite songs that you just like to dance to when no one's watching.
I like anything Prince does. I like Saturday Night Fever song, the Bee Gees, anything they do. Probably songs from my generations. I mean, I dance to anything. I mean, of course, I like, what was it? James Browne. That's my favorite dance when I do it. Just anything I can get into. I have a hard time going to an event where they don't dance, though. Listening to music, I've got to get up there and dance.
I'm always the person that starts the dance party.
Oh, me too. I'm not inhibited whatsoever. Yeah. And once you get up, everybody starts to join it. But somebody's got to be the first. And I hate sitting around and waiting for somebody to do it.
That's right.
So.
Something ain't easy, but somebody's got to do it.
And then I like the fact that sometimes when I dance, and I dance by myself, I've seen women leave their partner and come dance with me. And I think it's so funny. Because I do
all the time. It happens.
Yeah.
Man, I can't wait to go out dancing with you sometime when I'm in Nashville.
Let's do it.
when I'm coming to Nashville, but I gotta make it out there soon.
All right.
Victoria, talk about a couple songs that you like. What are some things that you just get you going before you get in your car and you start having your own car karaoke?
Who, me? What songs get me going? Oh boy. Well, there's a vast range, right? So my playlist is so random. I will go from Disney to Britney to Prince to Lil Wayne. Like, I don't have no chill at all, right? Like, it depends on where I'm going. When I'm gonna do something vocal, I like listening to Jessie J, Mariah, Christina, old Christina, like 90s Christina.
I love old Christina.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Right, dirty.
There's a really good Fighter was my theme song when I was going through my divorce.
Oh, yeah. So
it's like
good,
such a good
right?
song, like when you're going through like a hard time, especially with a divorce or something like that. But sorry, I just dropped my phone. But that was one of the songs that got me strength through my divorce. I don't know, like, so bringing up Christina, she's always had such powerful songs, though.
She really does. They're so powerful. Yeah, she's great. Or if I'm gonna go to like, I don't know, something where I'm like picked up with the energy levels, I'll probably listen to, honestly, I love Lil Wayne and Jay-Z. They're the goats. You know, give me something super upbeat. Oh, he has this, like a DMX track, or like, I don't know. I just listen to a lot of different, or Led Zeppelin radio on Pandora specifically.
You listen to Led Zeppelin? That's interesting.
Love it. Yeah.
I would have never known that.
Love the Eagles. Yeah. I'm a master student of resonance and music. I love all different kinds. Well, it's like outfits, right? Sometimes I need this outfit for this mood, or this outfit for this mood, or this occasion. You can't really have enough variety.
Terry, a couple songs that you like to listen to when you're not yelling?
When I'm not yelling?
Yeah.
I'm like Victoria. I'll listen to Joel Walsh, I'll listen to the Eagles, and I'll listen to Foo Fighters, and I'll listen to Metallica. I mean, I just go whatever my mood is what I'll listen to. And at the gym, of course, I want anything that's going to be like some kind of upbeat, because I'm trying to lift weights. Something that's going to get me in the mood.
What's your gym playlist?
My gym playlist is crazy, Victoria. It's all over the place. It's like you. It's like from Britney to.
And Denny's coming on, so that's a good thing.
Hey.
He's probably on 2
Mike is muted.
We've got some feedback.
No, he's almost there. But you know what? I've been waiting for Denny to come on.
Can you hear me now?
I have to turn this.
I can hear it there. But you know what?
Am I there now?
I've been waiting for Denny to come on.
Can you hear me now?
I have to turn
I can
this.
hear it.
We hear you, but do you
Am I
have
there now?
There he goes. So, Victoria, you haven't met Denny. So, I wonder if you've seen his movie, The Wrecking Crew, which was an excellent film, which I still talk about till this day. And why he's here is because this is the film that I talk about all the time, Immediate Family. And you met Leland Sklar when he was in the studio with us back in 2021.
I did?
And you did. You were there with him, with us.
Can you hear me now?
What Denny was doing, can hear you, Denny, yep.
Oh,
You're good.
no, I'm
You're
not.
good. Yeah, you are. You are. So here's the thing. Back in June, when I last got a chance to see him, I was so proud that their film was being shown on the big screen. And I loved it. And I knew that somebody was going to buy it, but we couldn't really say. And then he kind of couldn't say. And turns out that it was Magnolia, which is a great place to be. But it was just a wonderful thing. And he'll be happy to know I don't go anywhere in the country without the one sheet. No place. I take it with me, and I'm
Wow.
always telling him about the films and everything like that.
I love that.
And
Wait, so
because
you
it's
sold a
only
film
in the
for-
theaters. So, Denny, talk about this. Talk about what's
Hi,
happening
guys.
with
I
your film and media
apologize for
family and
coming
everything
in
like
late.
that.
Sorry.
You're a director. You got stuff going on.
Yeah. My alarm didn't go off. I'm not good at technology. Oh, I suck. That's why it takes me
you're
so long
good.
to make films. You know, the first film, Wrecking Crew, took 19 years. This one
Well-
I got done in 3 years, so I'm pretty good.
Wow, that's a big jump from
Well,
19
you
to
get-
3.
yeah.
You skipped a lot of steps.
Yeah.
You learned a lot of stuff the first time.
Yeah, that. Maybe I didn't license any music this time. No. So
And
Well,
then
that's a shame.
we were talking about favorite songs and groups and stuff like that, because I've been listening like Tommy Shondell and Crimson and Clover and things like that, and
Oh, I love that
Neil Young. When I first met Neil Young, I wasn't a fan. All of a sudden, I love Neil Young and Old Southern Boy, and all of these things like this just came up. Talk about getting these songs for the immediate family and what's going on with it now, because you got something going on in December. I think it's December 12th.
yeah, December 12th we come out. It's funny you said meetings, guys, because I'm born in 61, so 70s is my era in a sense. And a lot of that stuff I was realized it wasn't my songs. You know, a lot of the Carole King stuff was close, James Taylor, but I wasn't into the Jackson Browne. I wasn't into a lot of singer-songwriters in a weird way. I was more into like Earth, Wind, and Fire. I was into the jazz thing. And it was weird because I grew up because my dad was a player. He's a guitar player, Tommy Tedesco. So I was always hearing instrumentation. I can't hear a damn lyric to save my life. So it sucks, And so what to go back. So when I got this job to do this project, I started researching and going into all the stuff, all the albums. And went, oh my God, I love this. Oh my God, I love this. I got to fall in love with stuff I never heard. I obviously heard all this stuff. It wasn't my cup of tea all the time. And now I got to, so I guess I can grow more.
Sometimes you hear things in a new way.
You
right?
do, totally.
Yeah.
Excuse my dog.
No,
But
that's
no,
okay. I love dogs.
We're dog lovers here.
That's good.
Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes you hear just for an example, my old producer, he would get he sent a song to labels. The labels would be like, we love everything, we just need you to make these few changes. And he'd be like, okay, and send the exact same thing back. And they'd be like, great, we love it now. And it's just like
BSing.
they were in a different place when they were listening to the song here, right? So it's the same thing.
Oh, now I thought you went out. Sorry. Keep going as I let the dogs out. Who
No,
let the
that's
dogs
okay.
out? I did.
There's a great song about that. Who let the dogs
I guess
out?
it is.
That's my
There they
mom's
go.
favorite song.
Go.
Brian, you know my mom. That's her favorite song.
Who let the dogs out?
Yeah, she loves it. I don't know if it's
That's funny.
sarcastically, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
That's interesting.
I
It's
know.
a
Well, I
fun
just
song,
did,
though,
so.
I guess.
It
Hold
was
on, we gotta get to
a
this.
jam. It was a big one in
did it.
1999 or whenever that song came out.
Long
Talk
ago,
about the
much
guys.
longer.
Denny, you got to talk about the guys. Danny,
Sure.
Yonny, Leland, Russ, and
All right, so
Steve. Why are they
for those-
important?
They come in at the end of the first film, Wrecking Crew. I think some of you know it. It ends in like late 60s. The guys, the music changes, but also technology and the business changes. You don't need studio players to knock out constantly 3 hours. So, you don't need the players got better in the late 60s and early 70s. And so bands are self-sufficient, but also singer-songwriters are taking time. Their recording takes a couple weeks now, maybe 3 weeks to do an album, where they wouldn't spend that much time in the 60s. With 3 hours, maybe a whole day, you knock out an album. And so these guys come in, they're the young guys. And it's funny because I asked Peter Ash, I said, Peter, he said something about them being legends. He looked at me, goes, they weren't legends. They were our friends.
Wow.
He goes, when we did, because I keep thinking it's like Tapestry, like 3 albums that Russ Kunkel, the drummer in 71 did was Joni Mitchell's Blue, Sweet Baby James Taylor, and Tapestry. I mean, you could quit at the end of that. of that, with those three on your resume. But they were all young and they were willing to do, like we're all young at some point and we're willing to go for it. And those guys they would record an album and then go on the road to support the act. And that was different. They never did that in the 60s. You had your road band and you had your studio band. And that was a different time. And so it was Russ Kunkel on drums, Leland Sklar. He did the Sweet Baby James tour. He comes out of school. Literally, they went and got him. He said, I'll take a month off of school. He never went back. And that's how his career started. And then Danny Kochmar, who's a friend of Carole King's, she, and James Taylor actually was his connection. And they, friends for life. And then Waddy Wachtel comes into the studios in the mid-70s, not mid-70s, early 70s, but then they start connecting. So, and the business changed. FM comes in. You're playing long cuts now. You're playing, Victoria, we were just talking about hearing things differently. I don't know if you guys ever listened to, what is it on Sirius? One of the B-sides or one of those hard to find songs. It's a special, something tracks.
It's a B track. It's
you know what I mean?
It's a studio cut. It's like a.
It was something weird.
Oh my God, I can't think of the word
I know,
right now.
Sorry, I threw it at you. And it's one of those things where you go, oh my God, I've never heard that. And that's what albums gave us in those times.
Album cuts. They're album cuts.
Yeah, deep cuts.
Deep cuts. we got
go.
there. It wasn't
It took
easy
us 5
road,
minutes, but we got
you guys were staying with us as we approached that.
And those are the ones like in those days when Tapestry and those guys are making albums, they're checking, they're making sure it's all in a certain order, what fits better. Don't forget, after 6 songs or 5 songs, you got to get up, you got to flip the album. It all created this mood.
Why do you think that why do you think that the studio musicians got better in the 60s?
I think, it's not that I think the music got better. I don't think the studio musicians got better. It was the bands got better. The bands themselves got better because don't forget, in the early 60s when they're doing the Beach Boys and there's the Janadines and Phil Spector, all that stuff, the musicianship is killer in the studios. But you're dealing with the Beach Boys, they're 15, they're 17, they're 19. And the music.
And you're not thinking of those ages either. You're not even thinking about that.
No. My father's 30 in 1960. So he can go in there and get a piece of paper and just start reading it or feeling what it is and know where to go with it. There's experts, you have 10 years in the studio already.
You learn to get fast and good in the studio and understand the difference between live performance and studio performance. Sometimes it's different, right?
That's why they had a career, because the guys on the road don't forget, they were only dealing with one track. They all had to nail it. It was all mono. So there was no so-and-so made a mistake.
Right.
They didn't have time to cut in. You didn't have
And it was literally cut in, right?
Literally cut in those tapes. I saw that. God, that was scary to watch that happen. But I think the music matured. Like you were talking about Zeppelin, that matured. I think obviously once the Beatles hit and started doing their, Rubber Soul and all that stuff, that's really maturing. And then Brian Wilson started doing Pet Sounds and that matures, but that's even all the studio musicians. So
doesn't it feel like it's backwards now? Like it feels like instead of artists maturing, I like their music less as time goes by. I don't want to give specific examples, but
that's interesting.
It feels like it's going in reverse. What's that?
Do tell. Who? No, I don't know.
I like a lot of
artists that are established?
The pop stars in the 2000s and the 90s, right? The producers really just nailed the formula. It was simple. It was easy to sing to, nothing crazy. And then everything kind of turned very urban, there's nothing wrong with that. But for artists that shouldn't be going in that direction, and it doesn't feel first nature for them. And I feel like maybe it was authentic to them and I just fell in love with the commercialized version, but
that's interesting because that was, that's the thing that people don't understand or not understand. And this is something I grew up with. It was a business. It's always a business, and you have to, there's producers, there's arrangers, there's everybody trying to figure out how we make a hit. That if we don't have in the old days, there was always a formula. At that moment, there's a formula, and and that's what got the radio. You got the songs on the radio, and if they went somewhere, then you made an album in those days. You only cut a 45 at sometimes.
Both are telling me you just answered my own question in my head why I'm listening to 60s and 70s music. I never listened to the lyrics of Uncle Albert, that Paul McCartney, with the Beatles, and I'm listening to the lyrics because as a disc jockey, for me, it was about the beat. Just like you were talking about listening to Earth, Wind and Fire and jazz. Now I'm actually listening to them. And it's very interesting, and now you can see how great that songwriting was.
And the musical real estate was different then, right? Like we don't have instrumentals. If you don't cut right to the hot part of the song in the first couple of seconds, you skip it. No one cares, right? You need to have it right very close to the front. And the instruments sounded like they were so strong that they could have been just a lead. Like you could just listen to that. And that melody in and of itself was so strong.
All right, so here's a question for you guys. That's really interesting. It totally blows my mind. Growing up, I'm always waiting for the solo to come up. Do we still have solos in pop music today?
No.
I mean,
no.
Maybe the moment when the music drops out for one-liners, but how often does that happen? No.
Wow.
Hey, Rebel,
I can't think of it. Like,
hey, Rebel, do we have a trailer?
What's it? Oh, there you go. Okay. I'll let you watch that. Oh no, this is not the trailer.
It is surprising to have been doing it for 50 years now. It's a long time.
I'd like to raise.
Do you want the trailer?
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Do you want to go to because that's just an outtake.
No, she'll find it.
Okay,
I got a question for you.
It's immediatefamilyfilm.com.
Is what always comes to my mind is the song of Don Henley. All she wants to do is dance.
I love
think about this all the time. Who was in your film that you recorded? How that came about? Every day I think about that.
Yeah. That was Danny Kochmar, and what's so great about Danny's a great player and all that, and Henley leaves the Eagles and they kind of hang out just at a party or at Peter Rasher's house, and Danny starts trying to convince Don Henley to go solo, do a solo career, and they start, and he gets the job and he creates 3 albums. And it's funny because how Don Henley's, they're very funny because they're 2 very opinionated, people, musicians, very, hard-headed, as my grandma would have said in Italian, testadudes, which is hardhead. And there we go. You can watch the trailer now.
KLOS 95.5.
Doctor, my eyes have seen the.
My getting lucky was reading those guys.
She's got to be somebody's baby.
Not only did they give birth to this music that they're playing, they're as much the author of these songs and of this music as the artist that they did it with.
The creative input of these session guys cannot be overstated. It can't be overstated.
These guys were Carole's band and James's band.
Well, we would do a whole project with someone, and then you'd go out on the road and perform it with them.
It was a new way of doing it.
We'd make an album, and then the rest of the time we'd be on the road. We'd come to album tour.
But it was really album tour, album tour.
In the early 70s, you couldn't pick up an album with the liner notes without seeing these guys' names.
Russ Kunkel, Lee Sklar, Danny Korchmar, Waddy. They were there for the song. They wanted it to be the best it could be.
They weren't session musicians. I mean, they were just musicians. And they gradually became legendary session musicians. Lived in the moment.
Yeah, that song was great. That record did great. Next, what's next?
I'd like to raise my hand and say I never thought we'd be this old.
I think what keeps us together is because we can. It really genuinely is fun. This music.
All I can express is admiration for these guys.
You do feel like a unit, like a family.
These are the people that play it best, and these are my best friends, and so I don't need anybody else.
I feel like the luckiest guy in the world that I'm able to play, with my best friends.
I'm still as happy today as I was in 1970.
You look back in hindsight, I was just happy to be there.
I've got a band full of brothers that love me. I'm proud of all of it.
Now, you can't get any better than that. This is why this has been my favorite film the last 3 years when it comes to documentaries. And there's a bunch of them out, and it's not because he's there. Denny, everybody will tell you, I've been promoting this since, last January? Almost every show, I show this because it's a great thing. And the fact that you have access to interview all these people, that's unheard of. And we got about 2 minutes. Your reaction.
Well, that's because of those guys. Someone asked me about that as well today. I said, listen, it's not about me. It's those guys. They love them so much. That was a time period. They're hanging. They're all the same age. You got Linda, you got Carole, you got James. They all are young. They're all in their 20s. And they're staying with each other on the road. They're going on the road. So they're friends for life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's a big difference. My father went to work. He did a great job, whatever he did, but he's not coming home with Brian Wilson, or we're not going to Brian's house or Frank's house or, David Crosby's house. He's only in there for 3 hours. It was a different world. That's why these guys call themselves immediate family, because they are family in a weird way. So when they call Linda Ronstadt, says, Linda, would you do this? Absolutely. When they called Carole, the first day after they said yes to the project, they called Carole and they said, Carole said can do it in 3 weeks. I went, uh-oh. So, I wasn't ready, but I got it together. And we started that doc, and that was off and running, but very quickly, only because of them. They love those guys.
We get about like 60 seconds left. Victoria, give me social media links. Don't worry
Victoria
about it.
Renee Hand across the board. Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, all of it.
Howard Wiggins, Facebook, plain and simple. But I do want to make a comment. I saw on Facebook, it said, why is it when you get old, you can walk in the kitchen, you forget why you're there, but you can remember every song from the 80s that you heard?
Amen.
Terry Marie.
Terry Marie, nonstop on all platforms, and terrymarieofficial.com is my website.
And Denny, if we can get you back with your crazy schedule, we would love to have
Absolutely.
you back.
I am so sorry for being late on that one, guys. And I will be in Nashville at some point. And where is Terry?
I'm going next week.
Where's Terry
I'm
live?
going for the Nashville Film Festival. Terry's she's in Sherman Oaks.
I'm in Sherman Oaks.
Oh, okay. And Victoria's where?
I'm in Burbank. I'm in Cali. Where are you?
Okay, so I'm in Woodland Hills. We're all Valley kids.
Oh, we're my neighbor. Okay. I'm very close.
Yeah.
And then Howard's in Nashville. So we
and
got to end this.
I will see you in Nashville, Howard.
Yay.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to be there next week for like 9 days. Okay, I always say this. Thank you for everybody for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good night tonight. A better day tomorrow. If you see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours because the world needs it, especially everybody who's on strike. I'm Brian Sebastian. This is Movie Reviews and More. And to check out Immediate Family. Denny, the date?
Is December 12th in your theaters around the country.
Wow.
Okay. We will see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.